one is all about the books that I've read for the last 40 years. And today I have my special guest, accelerating business growth through global product leadership. No other than Mr. Alexander Blinov.
Hi, Daniel. Hi, everyone. Excited to
Welcome.
be here.
Yes, welcome to Book 101, Mr. Alexander. And can you please introduce more about yourself?
Absolutely, with a great pleasure. So, I'm a product management executive with 16 years of experience building digital products across industries. I worked in multiple industries. Fintech and e-commerce are two of my favorites because of how directly they impact people lives. And over the years, I've launched everything from small local features to large scale software products used by millions of people across multiple countries. And currently, I serve as a Chief Product Officer at Zendrop, based in sunny West Palm Beach, Florida. And here we help e commerce entrepreneurs around the world grow their businesses through our dropshipping platform and fulfillment services. It's a fast moving, high impact environment, and it's perfect for someone who lives and breathes product as I do.
Mr. Alexander Blinov, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world. Product management mindset to personal life. How does viewing your life as a product fundamentally change how you can make decisions or set priorities?
Yeah, so the funny thing is, when you live and breathe product management for long enough, it starts to shape how you approach everything, even outside of work. And at one point, I realized that I had started managing my personal life in the same way I manage products. And I have a very good example for you. When my wife and I were planning our wedding, we used Scrum. We had our backlog of tasks in our to-do list. We had regular planning sessions and even a wedding board to track progress towards our big release date, which was our wedding ceremony in Iceland. And it actually worked. It was really fun. It was really efficient, and everything was totally under our control. And that was the moment I actually started thinking, what if we all managed our lives a little more like product managers? And that is how I get this feeling and I get this idea that I can actually transfer my professional knowledge on the real world and in real life. So this is how it started. And I would say the most important thing for product managers and for product management approach is to start with the vision. So in product management, every great product starts with a vision, a clear idea of why it exists and what it aims to achieve in the long term. And the vision gives a direction, and it actually helps product managers to say yes to the right things or no to the distractions. And in life, having something similar, having a personal vision, is just in the same way powerful. And if we take any of us, well, I'm speaking about myself and the people I know, many of us can roughly picture where they will be in a year from now. But what about 10 or 20 or 40 years from now? What kind of life do you want to build? What kind of person do you want to become? And having this long-term vision and long-term understanding where are you going to makes tough decisions easier. So, for example, it helps you to understand whether you need to take this job offer or buy a real estate or even move countries and so on. If you have sense of where you're heading, you can make those decisions much more confident.
Confidence indeed. People confidence. Where do people most often get stuck in analysis paralysis when designing their lives, and how can PM tactics break this cycle?
Yeah, that's actually a great question. I would say the main limitations people usually have is similar to what we have in product management. So in the product team, you can actually build anything, but not everything. You have some limits, which are usually your resources, your time, and money. And that's why in product management, we prioritize the things we are going to do. We maintain a backlog, we weigh trade offs, and decide what's the most important thing to do right now. And life works the same way. So people usually stuck when they try to uh, try to achieve a lot of things simultaneously, or vice versa, they don't know where to start. And there's always more than you can do comparing to time that you have. And that's why it's really important for a person to understand the backlog of tasks. That's why I personally keep my personal backlog of tasks, goals, and ideas. It's you can consider it as a master to-do list. And once a week, I usually review this list and decide what I will focus on during my next week, my next sprint. And I use some tools similar to what we do in product management. I use Trello to move tasks from backlog, from to do to in progress, from in progress to done, and so on. So I would say it's really helpful to understand where you should be focused during the next period of time.
Interesting, Mr. Alexander. Interesting indeed. Why is embracing literative experimentation more effective than a rigid 5 year life plan?
I actually like this question because experimentation and agility is a core philosophy in product management. So it's very important to stay agile and adopt your path to constantly changing environment and constantly changing life conditions. And the right answer here, the reason why it's important is that you cannot predict your life and the environment you will be in a couple of years from now. That's why I usually follow an iteration approach. So it actually correlates with your previous question where people usually stuck. The problem is that the idea and the dream people usually have, they treat it as something big, something bright and shiny, and they know that when they start doing it, it won't be perfect from the very beginning. But the problem here, core issue is to make a first step to build so-called minimum viable product, an MVP of your dream, and then can continue iterating on it. So it won't be perfect from the first time, but while you're iterating and polishing it, it becomes brighter, bigger, and shiner. And in the long term, you will build your perfect dream. And there is an example of this approach. So let's say someone have a dream uh, to live in Spain and to own a beach house in Spain. So this dream is big, and the first iteration, the MVP of uh, this dream could be uh, just go take a 2 week vacation and go to Spain. Then the next iteration of your MVP would be rent a place for a few months. And the next iteration could be spend a year working remotely. And if eventually uh, you'll understand and you'll know whether buying a house and moving full time to Spain actually fits your life or whether the dream needs adjusting. So, for example, uh, you might realize that Spain's healthcare system doesn't work for your needs. Maybe you miss your family, or you just discover you don't like quiet life after all. And that's actually not a failure. That's a learning. And at that moment, you need to pivot, and that is something what we do in product management. And the key is to stay open, adaptable, agile, and in tune with reality and with the way how it changes.
Mr. Alex, as accelerating business growth through global product leadership, what are your short term and long term goals? Mr.
That,
Alex?
yeah. That's an interesting question. So speaking about my short-term and long-term goals in terms of accelerating uh, business leadership, um, I would say that short-term goals, it's something uh, you can deliver, you can be focused in the next 3 to 6 months. And for me, as for any product manager, product leader in the company, it is always support of the team and support of the entire C-suite of the company. Because it's when you have a support of your colleagues and your team, uh, you can fulfill your growth, you can build ideas, you can iterate on your ideas and can contribute to your customers' businesses and your customers' work. So, and if I think about long-term goals, I'm thinking about building a community of like-minded people for the people who actually consider product management approach to their life as the right way to do things. And I would really love to build it one day and hope it would be helpful for a lot of people.
Good luck to your goals, Mr. Alex, and looking forward for more and more and more success. What will be your piece of advice for those people out there want to be like you, a global product leadership?
Yeah, so I would say the advice is pretty simple and easy. Uh, the one idea is I would like to give you is to treat your life as your most important product, where you are actually a CPO, a Chief Product Officer. So you get to define the vision of your life, prioritize the roadmap, and prioritize the features and ideas you're going to build. Learn from your failures and evolve over time.
Well, thank you for your advice, Mr. Alex, and hoping people are listening or watching right now will follow you. How do you decide when to sunset a goal, habit, or relationship that no longer serves your product vision?
I will say that at the very moment when you realize that the idea or the product is no longer servicing your vision, you should sunset it immediately because the core problem in prioritization products and features is to say no to something that do, does not contribute to your vision any longer. And that is a core skill of any product person. So my answer is you should decide and act immediately as soon as it becomes obvious that your features or your ideas do not contribute to your future and your goal.
What is your ritual for weekly or monthly life retros to celebrate wins and course correct?
I have a few rituals. So The most sustainable one is making weekly retros and planning sessions when I preparing my sprint board in Trello for the next week for my personal plans and goals. And usually I sit down on Sunday night or on Monday morning, review the board from the previous week, understand what I accomplished, what I achieved, and I was not able to achieve. And I plan the upcoming week. I structure my to-do list for the next sprint for the next week and understand what I need to be focused on during the next week. And also once a year, usually it happens in January, at the beginning of January, when things are pretty slow in business and you are not distracted a lot. I usually take a look back to the past year, highlight several learnings from the last year, and plan the next year and put several goals, usually up to 5 goals I would like to achieve for the next year.
Mr. Alex, can you recommend a book that influenced your journey?
Yeah, of course. So I would like to speak a little bit about the best book I've read that actually ties life, work, and product thinking together. And the book called The Culture Map. It was written by Erin Mayer. And on the surface, it is a book about managing international teams and managing cross-cultural relations. But really, it's a book about empathy, and it helps you understand how people from different cultures think, communicate, how they give feedback, how they build trust, and how they make decisions. And let's be honest, life is full of people and from different profiles and from different cultures, whether it's your partner, your boss, your colleague, even your kids, maybe sometimes. And this book actually helped me to manage a global team more effectively. And since I constantly moving, I moved a lot to different countries. It helped me to accommodate in these countries and helped me become better communicator, friend, and a partner. So I really recommend this book for everyone who deal with multiple people, multiple culture environment, and especially work spread it with teams spread it across the world.
Very well said, Mr. Alex. Very well said. And thank you for your recommendation. What questions do you ask yourself to validate if a new commitment aligns with your core values?
Usually, I ask when I think about something whether I should do it or not. I think only one. I ask myself only one question: whether it is the most important thing I should focus at right now or not. If the answer is yes, I continue focused on it and continue putting efforts into it. If the answer is no, I am looking at my backlog and the tasks I planned for the upcoming week and take another task which could be more important.
Mr. Alex, before we wrap up our discussion for today, I'm inviting you to please do listen to my other podcast, people. My other podcast, because my abstract essay is already in fifth season, abstract poetry in second season, and my book 101 review in fifth season, comedy 101 in second season, and food 101 in its fifth season as well, geography 101 in fourth season, and law 101 and mental health 101 in its first season, on love letters in third season, and my movie 101 review and music 101 in its fourth season, science 101 and sex 101 in its first season. Please listen to them wherever you listen your podcast. Mr. Alexander, Mm, what's one habit, project, or boundary you shape recently using this approach?
I believe the boundary is the right word here. I try to make boundaries for my personal time and my personal efforts, and I prioritize this time towards the goals I would like to achieve in the nearest future. So, as I mentioned, it's very important to be able to say no to any distractions which you have, which can prevent you achieving your goal.
Mr. Alexander Blinov, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world. So, can you please invite our listeners to support your business as well as your advocacy to the world?
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Daniel. It was a real pleasure for me being here.
Yes, so where do people catch you, Mr. Alexander?
I believe the right place is my page. You can just search me there, Alexander Blinov, and it's the right place to keep up to date with my journey.
Yes, people, let's support Mr. Alexander Blinov because if you support him, more and more and more advocacy to come, more and more empowering business to come. So, Mr. Alexander, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much.
Bodycam people, see you soon.